Rhode Island just becoming the first state to sue the world's largest oil companies over their alleged role in climate change. All rise, the judge is here, Andrew Napolitano. Okay. I mean, how much merit does this case have?
Look, we just had a lawsuit just like this brought by the cities of San Francisco and Oakland against the same oil companies. And a federal judge in San Francisco threw the case out, wouldn't even let it go to a jury because the proofs in the case are wanting. I mean, this is a political argument. It's not a scientific argument. You know, in order to hold the oil companies liable for climate change and thus expenses incurred by the state of Rhode Island to address those climate changes, there would be a great number of scientific proofs that would have to pass muster. Sure. That a judge would have to say, okay, a jury looking at this could come to this conclusion. The people in California, and they were the best people in the country from the perspective of the climate change crowd, could not prove it. The same thing will happen in Rhode Island. In fact, you could even argue that this Rhode Island case is frivolous because it will be governed by what was found in California.
Isn't there some sort of report or alleged report that ExxonMobil authored a few years ago that acknowledged the existence of climate change, and that's sort of the ultimate smoking gun? Have you ever heard about that?
I have heard about that. And, you know, whether or not ExxonMobil acknowledges the existence of climate change does not impose upon ExxonMobil liability for the consequences of climate change. You know, this is a political lawsuit intended to permit the Democratic Party that runs Rhode Island to say to their base, look at what we're doing to try and recoup your money. Same as the lawsuit in California. All it did was waste legal fees. Wherever Farney is, he's furious because legal fees are being spent.
Well, listen, loser pays. I mean, if that ever comes to America, I'm the first one on board.
The feds have loser pays. They did not impose it in California, and I doubt that they'll impose it in Rhode Island.
Wow. And I guess maybe the tobacco situation sort of gave them hope that this could make it through?
Look, the tobacco litigation was a windfall for the states. It didn't enhance anybody's health or safety. It just gave the states free cash to spend however they normally spend their cash.
All right, I've got another real fun one for you.
Yeah, this is really big time.
Yeah, one of your favorite recording artists, Madonna. She lost her legal challenge in New York. A judge ruled that a Manhattan co-op can actually enforce a rule that says that Madonna can't have any family or staff at her apartment when she's not there. Judge, I mean, Can a co-op board say, if you're not there, your own kids can't be there?
Well, you know, and this is really...
What kind of parties are they throwing?
Okay, this is unique to New York City. If you own a co-op, you don't own the real estate.
Right.
You own shares of stock in the entity that manages the building. And the courts have given these cooperative corporations, as they're called, here in New York, unique authority to regulate the property. Now, I don't know what was going on in this apartment. It's a magnificent apartment. Varney would drool if he had this apartment. But whatever it was going on without her there.
Right.
And so her fellow stock owners, who are her neighbors, got together and said, we're not going to have any parties or anybody in the apartment unless the owner's there. Quite frankly, that's a little unheard of. A lot of people have, at her end of the economic scale, have skeleton staffs that stay in or maintain the apartment. Right. Think about it. Your own housekeepers might be in your apartment when you're not there. Not in that building because of whatever was going on in that apartment, and that will stand under New York State.
How do they enforce it?
Well, they're going to know.
How do they know that someone's in there? It's crazy.
Well, they have security.
Someone in the door, the doorman, the cameras, the desk, the security. A lot of buildings didn't want her in the first place, but this is amazing.
Well, think about what this will do to... But of course you can, but think about what this will do to the shares of stock in that cooperative down when they have problems like this.
Thanks a lot, Judge. Appreciate it.